Hello, good evening.
Hello. Good
How are you,
evening.
sir? How are you? Are you fine?
How are you?
I'm fine. Where are the others? Only Mr. Chris, and he is silent now.
Sorry, I asked you one question. Did Chris send you task 2? Is the result of task 2 or no?
Task 2 about what topic? Extreme traveling or
Traveling.
the last topic?
Traveling. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
That's traveling.
Extreme travel? Extreme traveling? Do you mean about extreme traveling? Can you hear me?
About traveling, yeah. Huh?
About the next lecture that was on last Monday or before?
Before the last Monday, the last Monday, the last Friday, not Monday.
For me, the last assignment that I sent was about extreme traveling, and it was last Friday. I didn't send anything else, but he sent me. He sent me my score and his corrections about TA and CC and TA and so on. But I don't have any much time to write anything else because of my work. You know, work in Egypt is very, very hard. It kills our time.
Also in Saudi.
By the way, do you work or free?
In Princess Noura University.
Do you work at university in KSA? University?
I'm physics lecturer.
Physics. Physics. That's good. You are a graduate of science or engineering?
Science.
Faculty of nuclear science. Cairo or Alex or Ain Shams or what?
لا Ain Shams.
Ain Shams. Nice to meet you, Sarah.
I think you take academic IELTS.
Yes. I intended to travel to KSA by the beginning of the year in January. In the University of King Fahd in Zahran, Dammam. I got a scholarship there and University of King Fahd. Do you know about it?
In Saudi? In Saudi?
Yes. In Zahran, Dammam. West of the kingdom. In the west of the kingdom. I got a full acceptance from the university and Mr. Chris, I didn't see you.
I just came.
I just talked with Sarah about my issues and here also. What about you?
Yeah, I've just been organizing stuff. So I opened the room and then I left and went and did some other things and I just came back now.
What about you? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Busy.
Okay, first, I have to apologize for postponing my appointment of academic writing yesterday. So we can arrange for a next appointment or what about your...
We can reschedule. We'll do another one.
Okay, so tell me what your free time and I can arrange with you.
Sure. How about can I promise you tomorrow? I should look before I promise anything.
Okay. Let me think about next Wednesday. Is it good?
Tuesday?
Wednesday. What about your time schedule?
Yeah, Wednesday is possible.
Okay.
What time Wednesday?
I think by Egypt time after 7 o'clock, if it is possible for you.
Yeah, how 7 to 8?
after 7 or 8 or 9 by Egypt. I think by your time in Canada, it would be 1 or 12 p.m., right?
You are, for Egypt, you are 9 hours ahead of me.
Yes, 9 hour difference between us, between Egypt and Alberta in Canada.
So
We can arrange it later. But I first wanted to arrange it with you first.
yeah.
Okay,
I can
thank you
also
for your
send you the video from yesterday's lesson if you'd like to watch it.
Okay, let me see this video if possible.
Congrats for the new board, Mr. Chris.
Oh, it's not the new board yet. It's still the old board, but I have got the new boards. I just painted them and I'm waiting. I have to wait for 2 days for the paint to dry fully before I can use them. So my new boards will debut on Monday.
Because there is no match here. It's just nothing black on it, so I like it now. It's better.
Yeah, I just did a little painting here so that I could clear it up a little bit. But these boards are going to come down tomorrow and my new boards are going to go up. So it'll be much nicer then.
Okay.
Mr. Chris, regarding to yesterday's session, may I ask some questions or it is not time?
Yeah, we haven't started yet. I think we're waiting for a few more people. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We are 5
waiting for a few people. So go ahead, we can chat.
Yeah, it was the first time for me to take a lecture in the academic in this legend and this stuff, bar chart in general. So it was different and it was very strange for me. So it's just I'd like to ask many questions. In that change, I'll make the beginning, middle, and the end, right?
Yeah, well, that's the way that we wrote it on the board so that we could see the relationship between things and compare and contrast.
Yeah, so I'll contrast the change between beginning and middle, and after that between the middle and the end.
Yep.
Okay, so I think there is I don't know if it's a mistake or I missed something. In the mobile, it was 2:12:45. So the change in the second change between middle and the end will be 33, or I mistake something.
Oh, I don't remember the math on the top of my head, but if you counted different than me, then trust your own math because I'm terrible at math. And if we're going to try to decide whose numbers are right, I would I trust your numbers before I trust my numbers.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now I have national and international high level and also the mobile. So the first you talk about both. Okay, the both high level in the change, right?
Yeah, well, so we had 3 different patterns in that graph. We had one that had a bell curve, and then we had one that was a slow rise and one that was a sharp rise. And so
yeah, gradual and steep rise, right?
Yeah, and so that's the important thing to talk about. And so we start with the starting point, and then because this was the first one we did, this one has a natural high point in the middle. And so that's why we made that middle point here so that we could talk about the top of the bell. And then we need to talk about the end points. And so it's just, there's 100 different ways that you could possibly do it. This is just the way that seemed the fastest and the best for us yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think when I'll start to write my assignment for this session, it's for me at the beginning it was hard, but when I watch the lecture today, I watch it another time. I think it's the most simple or the simpler way. It's the simpler way.
Yeah, it's again, this is not an IELTS thing. We're not doing this just for IELTS. This is the proper way to do a summary. Like when you were at university before, and you had to do something like this. It's just a natural way to summarize data. Not special for IELTS.
Okay, and for the other kinds of charts, I can make all the same. I can use the same way.
Yes, for any kind of chart, any kind of data, any kind of picture. The lesson that I gave you yesterday, that's the way to do it. Those are the steps. Step 1, make a list of all the data that you see. Step 2, talk about the differences between them. And then step 3 is to write it all into complex grammar, into paragraphs.
And also the change. I have to talk about the start and the middle and the end, right?
Yeah, well, if it has sometimes they don't lend themselves to having a middle. If it has, because this bell has a middle, it has a peak in the middle, so then we should talk about that. But if, for example, if it was just 3 lines, then you wouldn't necessarily talk about a middle. Just because it's a bell curve, then we can talk about the middle, or it's more appropriate to talk about the middle.
Okay, I think Mrs. Hend, she's waiting you to invite her to the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Miss Hend, how are you?
Oh, I have to just make her host. Sorry, Hend.
She's muted.
Guys, did you finish? Did you send Mrs. Hend homework? She will be angry on us.
We did already.
Oh, where did you go, Hend?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, because you invited me another time.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sorry for being late, 5 minutes late, but it seems that a technical problem that I had in my laptop, just came out of nowhere. I hope it doesn't stay for long. So, Chris, I'm not a host, but anyway, if you cannot invite me as a host, that would be okay. We don't want to waste our students' time, right?
Yeah, no, you're a host. You're co-host right now, Hend.
Am I?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, where were you?
Oh, we were talking about yesterday. We had the academic writing task.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell me, how did it go? How was it?
It was great. I thought it was great. What did you think, Safa?
Even at the beginning, I was confused. And I thought that I'm sleepy because it was at 11 p.m. here in my timing. But after that, when I watched it again, it was great. I think that, yeah, I think it's okay for me. And today, inshallah, or tomorrow at least, I'll finish the task and I'll send it.
Great. Yeah, it's the first time, and so it's hard to understand things on the first time, but after you do it 2 or 3 or 10 times, it's going to be as easy as falling off a log. Is an idiom for you for today.
And let me give you a small tip, please. Do not be shy of saying that this suits me or this doesn't suit me. That's okay. That's fine with Chris. So if you feel like time is not convenient to you, it's all right to talk about it. It's okay with Chris, I guess. Right, Chris?
Absolutely, Hend.
It is just I am an eager to learn person. So it is just when I find a chance, I said it's okay. I have to use it.
Yeah, a convenient chance is better than any chance, right?
Yeah. There are also other academic task 1 writing lessons on my YouTube channel, Safa and Hossam. And so if you want to have a look, there's a couple of examples there too.
Highly recommended. I went through them today, Chris.
Oh.
Awesome. You're really awesome. Delivering the information, especially in the academy. You're awesome in every you know, in every case, but especially these two videos that I watched today about the academic writing were really, really special ones.
Oh, you're
Thank
too
you very
kind.
much. So let's start today.
Yep.
What is that you wrote on your board? Oh, look at your camera. Impressive today. Look at your camera, Chris. Come on, what happened?
Oh, the repairman came, and I was telling you about the internet lines in my neighborhood are too old. And so the repairman came and he went into the main lines and he fixed some things. And so
seems that he's a perfect technician. He did it very well.
So far, so good.
I think it's about the board, not only the camera.
Yeah. The board. No, the board is really fine now. I can see the board as clear as, you know, what do we say, Chris? As clear as crystal, as clear as crystal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, crystal clear. So, what was that you wrote on your board, Chris?
Oh, as easy as falling off a log.
All right, it's falling off a log. Okay.
A log is a cut tree that's laying down. And so if you step on it, maybe it rolls and you fall down. And so it's very easy to fall down. So something that's simple and easy is as easy as falling off a log.
Can you say it's a piece of cake?
A piece of cake too.
A piece of cake too. All right. So now let's move to our first grammar. No, not first grammar lesson. First lesson, which is the grammar. All right. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready, but what about everyone else? Are you guys here?
Yeah. Yes, we're ready.
Would you please say something? Anyone else rather than Minna? Sam, Amr, Walid.
Ready, inshallah.
What is Mustafa? Mustafa is not here yet, right?
Walid is Minna.
Oh, yes, I know. Sorry. That's confusing. You have to change your name. Come on, Minna.
Yes, yes, I will do it, inshallah.
Sure, it's not that difficult. Mustafa is not here. Who else is not here, Chris? Well, Mustafa and Ibrahim. Anyone else?
Yes, me.
No
Hello?
one else. Is Mustafa here?
No, Fawzi Muhammad here.
Yes, Muhammad Fawzi is here, but Mustafa is not here. Do we have to invite Mustafa, Chris? That's so weird that he didn't come today. So committed. All right. Chris, would you please give it a shot because I don't have Mustafa in my contacts. Just as a reminder, please. Okay. Oh, Muhammad Fawzi. Muhammad Fawzi, you just came?
No, I'm here, but I have a problem with my laptop, so I take the audio on my cell phone and video on the laptop. So I came with two characters. Yeah.
Two characters. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I see your name twice on the screen. Why?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I have a problem with my laptop, so the voice, from cell phone and the video I can.
So you use two devices.
Two devices.
Oh.
Yeah.
From which one are you going to contact us?
You have to guess.
Then I'll have to guess, yes. Nice game. So let's start our grammar lesson for today. And I believe for that I have to close my camera, share my screen with you. And today's lesson is really important because it is a crucial lesson to be taught since it is a very important part in the writing task, which is the commas. Okay? Can you see my screen? Can you guys see my screen?
I can see.
Yes, I can. We can
Yes,
see.
I can. Yes.
So today's lesson is mainly about the commas. Yes. Commas. A comma is a punctuation mark, as you all know. It tells us to take a brief pause when we are reading, not as long as a full stop. When you make a pause in whatever you're saying, you take a shorter pause for a comma, shorter than the full stop or the period. Like, for example, when you say, when you come today, make sure you bring the groceries. Then, if you have noticed, I've stopped for a while or paused for a while in order to make my reader that I'll continue this sentence. This sentence is not finished yet. We still have something to complete it. There is another part of the sentence. It is the most common punctuation mark, but has to be used very carefully. Commas. Commas can change the meaning of a sentence. A title of a book. Like, for example, eats, shoots, and leaves. Eats, shoots, and leaves is totally different than when you say eats, shoots, and leaves, right?
Mm.
Changing the meaning again. The old lady collected all sorts of things. Silver, paper, hats, clocks, and tablecloth. Now, look at this same sentence with different commas. The old lady collected all sorts of things. It's the same. Silver paper, hats, clocks, and tablecloth. Does it make any difference?
Yes, silver paper.
For silver paper, yeah.
Yes. I just dropped off one comma here.
It's
I
just
took it
I
out.
didn't understand the first example.
Yes. Here.
Yeah, I
Here.
can't understand.
This is a joke. This is the punchline of a joke.
Yes. Okay, you can explain it first, please.
Do you know what a panda is? The animal panda
Yeah.
from China? So the joke is that a panda walks into a restaurant and orders some food and eats up his food. And then he pulls out a gun and shoots the place, shoots everything in the place and runs away. And the next day he comes back again and the waiter calls the police and they say, "You're crazy, you can't come in here. What's the matter with you?" And so the panda opens the dictionary and points to his picture in the dictionary and it says, "Panda, eats, shoots, and leaves." So it's a shoots. Shoots are small branches on a tree. Pandas eat bamboo. And so it's the small ones that are easy to chew, they're shoots. And so also with a gun is shoot a gun. And then leaves are the leaves on a tree. Or else it could be to go away, also to leave. These are called double entendre.
The shoots are the outgrowth of a tree, especially the bamboo tree, right, Chris?
Yep.
Okay, so I knew that you would explain it better than me. Thank you for the demonstration. Thank you very much. So when you say eats, shoots, and leaves, then this is a full sentence when you're saying that some animal eats, shoots, and leaves, all right? But when you say eats, shoots, and leaves, then these are three types of verbs that some animal, for example, or a person is doing. He eats, shoots, and leaves. Far away, leaves. All right? In the first sentence here, eats, shoots, and leaves. Shoots and leaves are nouns. Eats, shoots, and leaves are verbs. It's just because of the comma. They turned into verbs that are similar to eats. So when I put he here, so he eats, shoots, and leaves. He goes away. But here when I say eats, shoots, and leaves, these are things that he eats. Okay?
Okay.
You got it now, Minna?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just because of the comma. The comma is what made that big difference. So number two, the old lady, this example, this bullet, the old lady collected all sorts of things. Silver paper, hats, clocks, and tablecloth. So silver paper is totally different than silver paper. This means silver and paper, but here silver paper is something else. All right? Let's look at the third example. The same example, but with a different comma. Silver She collected all sorts of things. Silver, comma, paper hats, comma, clocks and tablecloth. See, it changes the meaning totally. All right? So now we learn how to do or to use the commas differently, or what are the different uses for the comma. Number one, when there is a list of words in a sentence, a list of words in a sentence, and usually these words are related to each other. We will need hammers, nails, and a saw. So here, hammers, nails, and a saw, these are all
Tools.
tools, very good, tools. She stopped, stared, and ran. These are all verbs that are related to each other or related to her action at that time. What did she do? Mr. Cherry was a warm, hospitable man. Warm, hospitable man. This means that these are two adjectives that are related to this man, or these are his personal attributes or adjectives related to him. Sam frightened the cat. What else did he do? Teased the dog. What else did he do? And annoyed the neighbors. Yes, so he did 3 verbs. Frightened, teased, and annoyed. All right? Different use, which is number 2 usage. Commas are used to break up longer sentences into smaller parts to make more sense. How? Remember when we were talking about the subordinate conjunctions and how to make a compound or a complex sentence? Remember?
Yes.
Now, here is the time where we will have to focus on the comma. If you start with a dependent clause, again, especially if you start with when, while, if, unless, though, although, and these kinds of subordinate conjunctions. So when you start with a dependent clause which doesn't stand alone or doesn't make sense by itself, you have to follow it using a comma in order to separate these 2 sentences. Dependent, independent. So when he saw the pirate ship on the horizon, the captain gave the alarm. Number 2, and please notice that there is a pause here while when I finish, I have to do when I finish the dependent clause. Again, it affects the way you say the sentence. Again, when he saw the pirate on the horizon, the captain gave the alarm. There was a pause here that must be noticed. Number 2, she called us loudly as she could, as loudly as she could, but no one could hear her. Again, she called us loudly as she could, but no one could hear her. Number 3, commas are used to separate any extra information that is needed. Extra information that are needed.
May I
For
ask
example,
you?
yes.
May I ask a question, please?
Sure.
If I said
Okay.
she called us as loud as she could, is it wrong?
As
Or
loud
loudly?
Okay. Yeah. Well, loud cannot be an adverb. And now ask yourself, what are you describing? Are you describing the girl, or you're describing the way she called?
The way she called.
So you're describing the verb, Muhammad, right?
Yeah.
Since you're describing the verb, you have to use an adverb. So an adverb is used to modify the verb. So if you want to modify the girl, you can say she was as loud as possible. She was as loud, or as loud as her friend, as loud as her sister. But when you modify the verb, then you'll have to put to use an adverb. An adverb is easily done by putting or adding ly next to the adjective. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you for this question. It was a brilliant question.
Thank you so much.
Commas are used to separate any extra information that is needed. The words enclosed by the commas could be left out without changing the general meaning of the sentence. Again, the words enclosed by the commas could be left out without changing the meaning or the general meaning of the sentence. Let's have an example here. Coleman, our star player, broke his leg in the match on Saturday. Coleman, our star player, broke his leg in the match on Saturday. If you just leave out our star player and you read the sentence as it is, so it will read as Coleman broke his leg in the match on Saturday, right? Am I right? Doesn't make any difference in meaning.
No.
It doesn't make any difference in the meaning. So this is extra information, or these words are extra words that add something to the subject. This is what I call an interruptive phrase. Interruptive phrase, a phrase that interrupts the flow of the sentence.
الجملة الاعتراضية.
جملة اعتراضية، برافو، صح حسام؟
صح.
Yeah, very good. So this is the same here. So if you drop it out, it doesn't make any difference, but again, it adds something to the subject. Here you have to start this sentence off using 2 commas, okay? Another sentence which is, Coleman, oh, it's the same. Coleman broke his leg in the match on Saturday. The man who was wearing a blue hat slid silently into the room. So again, who can explain this sentence to us, please?
It will be no difference if we take away the middle sentence, who was wearing a blue hat. It's more descriptive sentence for the man. Yes. So if we say the man slid silently into the room, it will be the no difference.
Same meaning. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So again, the man slid silently into the room. Other uses. To break up groups of numbers into thousands. Again, to break up groups of numbers into thousands. Like, who can read this number?
1 million.
1 million.
99,000.
Okay.
99.
Good. So in order to separate these numbers, to tell our reader how to read it in a simple way, then you'll have to separate each 3 digits with a comma, okay? So when you write a date, how? February 14th, 1990. If you notice here, I set off these 2 using a comma. I separated them using a comma. So it's February 14th, then before the year, make sure you add a comma. Also, inside speech marks, how? We're leaving tomorrow, comma, don't forget that there is a comma here, okay? And then again, there are the punctuation or the quotation marks to show us that this is a quote that someone has already said Fred. Before you close your quotation marks, not after you close your quotation marks, make sure you include a comma here, all right? Now let's practice. Miss Jones, Peter, Mrs. White, our nanny, Mr. Smith, all right? So, sorry, okay. So here, Miss Jones, can you add any adjective to Mr. Jones or identify Mr. Jones? So Mr. Jones can be
The blonde lady.
Huh?
The blonde lady.
Okay. Miss Jones, okay. Or the English teacher, or my neighbor. Very good. Excellent. Peter.
The football player.
football player type. If I ask you now to add another sentence after the football player, what would you say? So Peter, the football player, continue the sentence, please.
Scored a goal yesterday. Scored a goal yesterday.
Yeah, scored an important goal in the world team, for example, or in the world champion team. Excellent. My question is, how would you write the sentence?
It will be Peter, comma.
Yes.
Okay. The football player, comma, then the rest of the sentence.
Thank you. So you start off the sentence using 2 commas. Excellent. Mrs. White, the typist, and then you mention whatever you like to. Our nanny, the hairdresser, our teacher. Okay? So who can add a third part of the sentence now? The plumber what?
Fix it.
Miss Jones, the plumber, fixed the washroom yesterday. Okay?
The fix it.
Yes. Fixed the sink.
The leakage yesterday, whatever. Water
Okay,
leakage.
thank you very much. Yes. Peter, Jennifer, continue the sentence, please.
How come Peter, Jennifer? I don't understand.
Together, Peter, Jennifer, and I.
Yes.
Peter, Jennifer, and I. We had fun yesterday.
Peter, Jennifer, and I. Don't say we. Peter, Jennifer, then the verb. Jump to the verb.
Yeah. Peter, Jennifer, and I had fun yesterday.
Thank you very much. Mrs. White, the typist. I need someone else rather than Mohammed and Minna, please.
Mrs. Y, the typist, passed away yesterday.
Okay, thank you very much. She passed away. Okay. Okay, she's a typist. Who? Yani, I don't think that there are typists nowadays. Is it any more a profession of someone? I don't think so. So she must be really old to be a typist. Yeah, it makes sense to me. So our nanny, my hairdresser. Anyone else? Our nanny, my hairdresser.
Fixed her hair yesterday.
Pardon me?
Something like make her hair or cut her hair yesterday.
Okay, had a nice haircut yesterday, right? He had a nice haircut yesterday, or straightened my hair yesterday, or curled my sister's hair yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Smith, our teacher. Mr. Smith, our teacher.
She's nominated me.
Rather than passed away, please.
Is absent today.
Anyone else? No. I need some fourth one. I'm done with Mustafa, Minna, and Mohammed. Anyone else? The Chris's turn? Is there anyone else rather than these 3? Hello? Someone else, please. So Mr. Smith, our teacher, what did he do? Give me a verb, any action.
Nominated
Mr.
me
Smith,
as
our teacher, still working at the same school.
Amr al-Hawari again. Mr. Smith, our teacher, what did he do?
Mr. Smith, our teacher, is still working at the same school.
Mr. Chris, our teacher, still works in the school, or is still working in the school. Did I say your name wrong, Amr?
Yes, you are right.
Al-Harasani?
Yes. Not Hawari.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So you did very well. Thank you very much. So Miss Jones, the plumber, is good at looking after children. Peter, Jennifer, blow dries my hair every week. Okay. Jennifer, blow dries my hair every week. Okay. Oh, so had a son called Sam fixed a leak in our pipes last week. Can you match?
Matching.
Yes, please. I know it's
okay.
matching. So,
Can I
Miss
start?
Jones.
quickly.
Miss Jones fixed a leak in our pipes last week.
Thank you. Next, please.
Peter Jennifer has a son called Sam.
Peter Jennifer has a son? No way.
Sorry. Works in a large office.
No way.
Not works in a large office?
I don't think so.
Fixed a leak, has a son, blow dries, my hair.
So again, Miss Jones, the plumber, what did she do? She fixed a leak in our pipes last week, right?
Right.
So Peter Jennifer, let's delay till the end if you cannot do it now. Mrs. White, the typist, what did she do?
Works in a large office.
She works in a large office. Good, thank you very much. Full. Our nanny, my hairdresser, someone else.
Dries my hair every week.
Very good, thank you very much. Mr. Smith, our teacher.
Has a son called Sam.
So what's the remaining answer? What's the left one?
Miss Wen?
And the third.
What is it?
Has a son called Sam, or is it good at looking?
Jennifer. Okay, it doesn't match with the answer. Never mind about this sentence, please, because it doesn't match.
It's not-
Yes, I'm trying.
You can't find an answer to this question. Nothing matches with this sentence. Yeah. So when he reached the car park, practice again. Although he was very tired, despite queuing for hours, did our homework. I waited for my brother. So, can you continue this sentence, please? 2 minutes to write down any suggested answers.
When he reached the car park, he didn't.
Write it down. Write them down.
Okay.
يعني نروح نحطهم في جملة واحدة ولا إيه مش فاهم؟
No. You continue the first sentence, second sentence, just complete the
Okay,
sentence.
everyone is different.
They're all, or the first three of them are dependent clauses, just add an independent clause. We did our homework, continue the sentence. I waited for my brother, continue the sentence again. Okay?
Okay.
So, ready?
When he reaches a car park, he found the...
Just wait.
Okay. That's all.
Okay, Amr, go for it. No problem.
When he reached the car park, he found... Reached. When he reached the car park, he found the...
Park. There's the difference between bark and park. The dog barks, but the car parks.
Parks. Okay. He found all the park is full. Found all the park was full.
He realized that a car park was congested or was full of cars. Okay, that is good. Thank you. Sarah Al-Khatib. Sarah?
Me?
Yes, please.
Although he was very tired. He did his work efficiently.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Then Hosam.
Okay, despite going for hours, he successfully was able of taking his bread.
He was successfully able of what?
Capable of taking his bread.
Capable. Capable.
Able to.
Yes, but it's not capable. It's capable.
Capable of.
Good. Very good. Thank you. Now, Minna.
Yes. We did our homework, so we can go out to play.
So we can go out to play. Good. Then Mohammed Fawzi.
I waited for my brother for around 50 minutes.
No, this doesn't need a comma here. Using a comma here is not needed. Is not necessary at all.
Okay,
I can say this sentence.
I waited for my brother.
But he didn't.
Who else did you wait for?
But he didn't come till now. He didn't come till now.
But he didn't show up. No.
He didn't show up. It's the same.
Good. And for that, we need to know that before the compound or the coordinate conjunctions, we need to add the commas, right? So I waited for my brother, and whatever conjunctions that you're going to use, you have to add a comma before it, right? Before but, and, or, nor, yet, and so.
Okay, may I ask a question, please?
Sure, please. Go ahead, Safa.
For this sentence, I waited for my brother. If I said I waited for my brother who was late, I have to put also comma before who?
Yes. I waited for my brother who was coming back from Paris. Put a comma before who too. Okay? Thank you for that. Yes, good question. Now, show a brief pause within a sentence. We use the commas to show a brief pause within a sentence. Number 2, to separate items in a list. Number 3, separate additional information. Number 4, to break up longer sentences into smaller parts. Like, again, as we said, especially the complex and compound sentences. Break up numbers into thousands and inside speech marks. All right? Thank you very much for being very active during this lesson. And now, who didn't submit the vocabulary homework? Time for the punishment now.
Me.
I will send it
today. I will send it today,
but yes.
After that.
I sent it, but lately. I sent it lately.
You sent it late?
Later.
Yeah, late at 6:30.
So you sent it today to me?
I sent it today on the WhatsApp, or I have to send what? Where?
Okay, you should send it to me on the WhatsApp group, which is IELTS Idol 4. You guys, please don't send it to me personally. Send it on the group so that you encourage others to do the homework. Also, you get all your mistakes assessed spontaneously and at the moment. And also, you show everyone that you're so committed to doing your homework as well. Okay? So Safi just sent her home assignment now.
Yeah, I sent it personally, so I think you didn't see it.
Okay, and same did Mohammed Fawzi. Yes, Mohammed? Same did Mohammed Fawzi and Safi. All right. So let's move to our vocabulary lesson. Chris, are you there?
I'm here.
How are you?
I'm good.
Well, it's been so long since we last talked, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So now let's move to our vocabulary lesson. Ready, guys? I'm so glad that we're done with your vocabulary homework. And to show how interested you are and how positive you are, also committed, how positive, committed, and and active in participating in this course. By the way, again, as we said before, you won't be able to form or reconstruct your sentence, your language, unless you reinforce and boost your vocabulary and your grammar by practicing. It's not only about a lesson that is being taught to you. You have to practice all the lessons that you are being taught now. Okay? So let's move to our next lesson, which is the vocabulary lesson. Mm-hmm.
The last grammar lesson,
yes,
I think it was last Monday, you said that you will tell us about the arrangement of adjectives, but I think you forget to say.
Okay, can I please delay this to the next grammar lesson?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. So we're done with the health topic, I believe.
Education. Today?
And education as well. No. Are we done with education as well? No, I don't think so.
Only health.
Yeah, health.
Only health and travel.
And relationship.
Thank you. Yes, yes. Okay. So now it's my honor to share my screen with you. Let's start.
Today, education.
Yes. Today we'll learn about education, new vocabulary words and new verbs, or the verbs that are related to the education topic. Okay? So again, don't forget that the education topic, education as a topic, is frequently asked about in the IELTS exam. So you need to build your vocabulary, your grammar structure, your verbs that are related to this topic, so that you can smoothly talk about this topic whenever you have it, either in your speaking exam or whenever you have a related topic in the writing given tasks. Okay? So for the vocabulary, for the academic subjects, we have so many academic subjects. For example, we have the word archaeology, and it can be archaeology or archaeology. Archaeology or archaeology. So it could be written as AE or E only. So it is an uncountable noun because you cannot put a plural form to this singular form. You cannot say archaeologies. I'm learning archaeologies, or I'm studying archaeologies. This is incorrect. And archaeology, study of the societies and people of the past by examining the remains of the buildings, tools, and other objects. An archaeology professor at Florida State University, I think I should continue this sentence, has excavated a new cave in West California, in West Florida, for example. All right. So the word archaeology, the archaeology is the science, right, or the study in which you can learn more about the remains of buildings, tools, and also people. All right, peoples, if I'm correct. So you guys know what's archaeology?
Study about that.
Sure.
Okay, great. Astronomy. Astronomy, again, uncountable noun, is the scientific study of the stars, planet, and other natural objects in space, right? 10-day astronomy mission was enough to discover how does the moon's surface look like. Economics or economics, it's an uncountable noun, and it is the study of the way in which money, industry, and trade are organized in a society. So he gained a first-class honors degree in economics having previously studied economics and fine arts, so on. Then we'll have the word geology. Okay. I believe that here we should give a brief idea about what suffixes and prefixes are. Yes? You guys know what is a suffix and what is a prefix? A prefix, sorry. What is a suffix and what is a prefix? Suffixes and prefixes. Any idea? No idea. Okay. So for suffixes and prefixes, pre in English means before. Pre in English means before. And sorry to stop my lesson. It's just, it will take a minute or a little bit more. So word prefix. Prefix.
For the both, could you share the photo?
And suffixes. Pre, before. It is a Latin word that means before. So prefixes, some letters that come before the word, before the root word, in order to change its meaning. So for example, compare is a verb, right? When you say this is in...
Hend, sorry, are you writing on the board?
I am writing on the board.
Yes, because we can't see, only see your PC screen.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, it's just you can minimize it.
It's okay, no problem. So again, can you see the board?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So again, when I say the prefixes, pre in Latin means before, and prefixes in all means a group of letters that are put before the root word. This is the root word. Why do we put these letters before the root word? It's to change its meaning. If you are familiar with some prefixes and some suffixes, suffixes are the opposite of prefixes. So they are a group of letters that join the end, that join at the end of the root words. Why? Again, for the same mission, for the same task, to change its meaning. Okay? So if you're familiar with some prefixes and some suffixes, you may be able to guess the meaning of the new vocabulary word that you may encounter or you may face in your reading test, for example, or you speaking a question that you may not be able to know what does it mean. So this is a way, learning prefixes and suffixes is a very good way to learn new vocabulary. Just be familiar with some suffixes and some prefixes, and this will enable you, like one after the other, they will enable you to be familiar with the unfamiliar vocabulary words. So here, compare as the root word. So my root is compare. Just add in before it and add able after it. When you say that this is something incomparable, it means that it has no like. It has no like. This means that you cannot compare it. This is something that you cannot compare with another thing. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. So when you say this is something possible,
Impossible.
and then you add impossible. So in means not. In means not. Some prefixes mean not. All right? Over here. Able here, as Hassan was saying 2 minutes before or 3 minutes before, yeah, he said capable. And then he said it's capable. It's not. And then when I asked him, he said, it's capable and able, then it is capable. No, Husam, it's capable. And again, it's one word. So, for example, let's take another word. When you say, who can give me some examples of suffixes or prefixes?
Unhappy.
Cooperation.
One by one. Think
Reversible
about
and
it. Let's start with Safa.
Cooperation.
Cooperation. Another word from Hussein.
reversible and irreversible.
Reversible. Very good.
And the
And
opposite is irreversible.
That's a very good example. So, Minna.
Resistible and irresistible.
Resistible and irresistible. Very good. So all you have to do is to just add the root of the word, and then you add the prefixes or the prefix and suffix so that you can change the meaning of the words. Mohammed, do you have any other words? Mohammed? Seems like Mohammed is not here, huh? Okay, so again, you got the meaning. Are you saying anything, Mohammed? Okay, so you don't have anything. Full, for example, who can tell me? Full. I care about this prefix, this suffix now. Can you please notice how am I writing full? F-U-L or double L?
Double.
No,
it's
one L. One L.
So when I write, I will write it in red so that you can notice it. When I write beautiful, it's one L. It is a fatal mistake that most of you make, unfortunately. It's a trap that most of you make. Whenever you have the suffix full, please make sure you write it in only one L. It's not a double L. So beautiful is only one L, and so all the words that have the suffix full. All right? Beautiful. Yes.
And there is another full. It's full of. I mean this one.
Full of, it's full as a suffix. It gives you the same meaning of full of. All right? When you say that this is a handful food, handful, it's one L. Beautiful is one L. What else ends with L? With full? Huh? Painful. Okay, painful and helpful. Very good. Helpful. Okay, so it's full of help. Someone who is helpful, someone who is giving full help. Or painful, full of pain. Painful, full of pain. Pure, beautiful, full of beauty, and so on. Okay? So please notice this spelling mistake. It is a fatal spelling mistake that most of us fall into its trap. All right? Now it's time to continue our lesson. Back. So, linguistics, we were in geology. Yes, ology is the science. Okay, and this is why I stopped here. So, ology is the science of. Whenever you have whenever you have the suffix ology, not eology, ology only, then it means the study of. So, geology is the study of the earth. Earth's structure, surface, and origins. He was visiting professor of geology at the University of Georgia. Linguistics, it's an uncountable noun. Linguistics is the study of the way in which people work, the language works. Modern linguistics emerged as a distinct field in the 19th century. Again, psychology. So psychology, ology again means the ology. The study of,
Science.
science of, okay. The study of human mind and the reason of people's behavior. Professor of psychology at Bedford College discovered whatever. Research in education psychology proved that whatever. Then we'll have the word sociology. It's an uncountable noun and it is the study of society or the way society is organized. A sociology professor at the University of North Carolina. A treatise on the sociology of religion. Okay, so a treatise is a book, an article, or a discussion. All right? So we'll move to the academic activities. People who do academic activities, they analyze, they claim, they define, evaluate, investigate, and hypothesis. No, hypothesis is a noun. It's not a verb. Okay. Okay? So the academic activities, who would like to read? But quickly, please. We don't want to waste Chris's time.
I can start.
Okay.
Okay?
Analyze. If you analyze something, it's Safa.
Okay, Safa, please go ahead.
Okay, if you analyze something, you consider it carefully or use statistical methods
Yes.
in order to fully understand it.
All right.
What? McCarthy?
US analyze this, yeah, US analyze, this means that in British we write it as LYSE. And in American, LYZE. Okay? McCarthy?
McCarthy was asked to analyze the data from the first phase of trials of the vaccine.
Trials of the vaccine.
This book teaches you how to analyze what is causing the stress in your life.
Good. Then we'll have the verb claims.
Okay.
Would like to read?
Can I read?
Please go ahead.
Okay. Claim, claims, claiming, claimed. Verb, if you say that someone claims that something is true, you mean they say that it's true, but you are not sure whether or not they are telling the truth. Plus that, he claimed that it was a conspiracy against him. Plus two, a man claiming to be a journalist threatened to reveal details about her private life. He claims a 70 to 80% success rate. Sorry.
Okay. Next, please, Mohammed.
Define, defines, defining, defined. Verb, if you define a word or expression, you explain its meaning. For example, in a dictionary, Collins English Dictionary defines a workaholic as a person obsessively addicted to work.
Good. Next, please. Minna.
Can I read?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, sure, Sarah. Please go ahead.
Evaluate, evaluated. If you evaluate something or someone, you consider them in order to make a judgment about them. For example, about how good or bad they are. They will first send in trained nurses to evaluate the needs of the individual situation.
TH sound. Sarah, please, your TH sound. So they will first.
The market situation is difficult to evaluate. We evaluate how well we do something.
Okay, Amr.
Investigate, investigating, investigated. Verb, if you investigate something, you study or examine it carefully to find out the truth about it. Research
The TH sound again, Amr, please. TH sound and per sound.
Again?
Yeah, now continue, but be careful to your pronunciation to these two letters, please.
Research in Oxford is now investigating a possible link between
endometriosis.
endometriosis
Endometriosis.
And the immune system.
لا ما انا مش عارف اول كلمه.
Endometriosis.
Endometriosis. And the immune system.
Immune system. جهاز المناعة. Immune system.
Immune system.
Yes.
Police are still investigating how the accident happened.
So what's to investigate? Now you know what's to investigate? When the police investigate about something, what do? They study it. Yes, they study it carefully, or they examine it carefully in order to reach or to find out the truth about it. Okay? So next is Hussam.
Okay, nouns, evidence, right? Evidence.
Yes, please.
Evidence is anything that you see, experience, read, or are told that causes.
Hussein, it's just once at a time. Let's take the letter th sound. Th sound. Please do not skip any of the th sounds without showing your tongue out.
Okay. Evidence is anything that you see, experience.
Anything.
Anything that you see, experience, read, or are told that causes you to believe that something is true or has really happened.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's take hypothesis as a noun. Who didn't read yet? I think you all did, right? Cool?
Yeah.
Please go ahead. Who is it?
Hypothesis.
Who are you? All right, so yes, please.
Can anybody talk?
Yes, it's Safa's turn. Safa's turn.
Safa.
Sarah.
Safa,
Yeah, I'm here.
please go ahead. Read this word. Hypothesis.
Okay, hypothesis is an idea which is suggested as a possible explanation for a particular situation or condition, but which has not yet been proved to be correct. Formal work will now begin to test the hypothesis in rats. Different hypotheses have been put forward to explain why these foods are more likely to cause problems.
Okay, so hypothesis is just an assumption that the scientists assume as an explanation to a certain problem, all right? But then it needs to be proved whether it's right or wrong. Then in order to make its own theory, yes, مش نظرية. Hypothesis افتراض. Then the theory هي نظرية طبعا, and the plural is theories. The theory is a formal idea or set of ideas that is intended to explain something. Plus of, the word theory plus of, Einstein formulated the theory of relativity in 1905. Okay? Then I'm afraid that we're running out of time, and your assignment for today's vocabulary assignment is pages 14 to 17. Would you please write this down? Chris, please take your turn. And sorry for taking much of your time today. Forgive me.
Great lesson. So here we go with some speaking training practice, everyone. So we're going to start with part 2 again, because it gives you that opportunity to get your fluency up. So Hend is giving you the vocabulary and the grammar points, and now we are going to practice our skills in using them. And so first question today is, talk about your mobile phone. You should say when and where you got it, what you use it for, and what you like or dislike about it. And so let's refresh our memory for how we do this properly. So the key, remember, is to speak for 2 full minutes. And how do we plan it? You think of 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here, another point here, another point here, another point here, the third one here, third one here, third one here. And also then while you're speaking, make sure that you add examples and stories. So we do something like this. Where can I write this? Here. READS means reasons, evidence, or examples. A is analysis. D is details or data. Oops, that's not how you spell data. And S is a story. All different ways that you can extend your answers. And so, step 1 is get your ideas down into a plan, just like giving a speech. You don't want to write sentences and read sentences. You want to simply put keywords. And so I look at my paper, I see the keyword. It makes a picture in my mind. I describe the picture. Then I look down, look at the next word, it changes the picture in my mind. I talk about it until it's complete. Look down again, change the picture again, and keep going all the way through the question. Now, for your grammar score, remember these key words, your conjunctions: which, while, when, where, who, whose, whom, that, since, during, before, after, and, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. If you can't see my board over here where I've written, on your computer, shrink the screen this way and widen your screen this way, and you'll be able to see everything on the board. Any questions so far before I give you your 1 minute of time? No? You're ready? So you have 1 minute to prepare your answer for this. And then we're going to put you into face-to-face with other students. And you'll have 2 minutes to talk to the other person, and then they'll have 2 minutes to talk to you. And then we'll all meet back together in our big room again. You'll see how it goes. But first of all, take your 1 minute for planning, starting now.
Sorry, Chris, I want to ask is, are we going to ask each other or just talk about the topic?
No, when we go into, it's called a breakout room, and you're going to be face to face with one other person, and just choose who will go first, and let them speak their 2 minutes, and when you're finished, then the other person speak for your 2 minutes. You don't need to pretend you're the examiner.
Okay.
Just practice the speaking.
Chris, I already planned this while you are explaining the idea.
Okay, but we're going to have to let everybody get an opportunity to do their planning if they haven't done it yet. And so we'll wait 1 minute, and then I'll put you into your groups, okay? So ready, take 1 minute, go. And I'm going to organize our groups. 8 participants, 4 groups. All right. So 1 minute is up. I'm going to push the button now, and you're all going to go face to face. And so Amr and Hussam will be together. Muhammad and Mustafa, Safa and Sarah. And then we've got Mena left over, and so I'm going to put Mena and Hend together. And so Mena, just give it to Hend. Speak your answer to Hend. And so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Join your breakout room, please.